Welcome to Transparent Conversations, Elevated Exchanges. It is Wednesday night, so it must be a recap show live on YouTube.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is your boy, CPJR, but I'm out of order. Welcome to Transparent Conversations, Elevated Exchanges. It's Wednesday night, so this is a Wednesday night recap show. Tonight, we're going to be doing the pros and cons of the swinging lifestyle. This will be episode number 7.48. That's episode 7. 48 days. If you know, you know. If you want to know, just ask me. I'm your boy Calvin, or CPJR if you know me, or the Melancholy Guy if you feel me. Um, yeah, it's Wednesday night, as I said before. So it's a Wednesday night recap show on YouTube. Um, so let's get it going. And before we get started, please, if you feel it in your heart to like, share, and subscribe, please do that to help my numbers out and help people find this podcast that might find it, I don't know, useful. I don't know who this podcast is for. Maybe it's just for me. But if you feel like subscribing and sharing, I really appreciate it. All right, so we're gonna get started tonight. We're gonna go right to. No, we're not. Okay, I'm late. We had some plumbing issues here, so I got doused with some a pipe that that burst, and I had to take a quick shower to come on here. But I'm here. It's a lot going on. As usual, this show is going to be dedicated to all the people that are being disappeared without due process and the people that are currently sitting in detention centers. Well, we haven't forgot about you. Either we are a nation of laws or we aren't. And I believe that we're a nation of laws, right? So so I dedicate this show to them, as I dedicate all my shows to them until maybe I've been doing it for 4 years. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Would they actually ever get out of that situation? We don't know. So, we're just going to keep hoping the best. Right? All right. All right. So let's do this. Okay. So tonight, like I said, tonight's a recap show. On last Friday, we started talking about the swinging lifestyle. I told you that it was a it was on the diagram that we had. Swinging is under the ethical non-monogamy umbrella, meaning that once you declare yourself to be ethically non-monogamous, then you got to see where you fit in. Are you more about relationships, or are you more about I think I got this one. See, yeah, this one says fixed. Are you more about fixed relationships or open relationships, basically? Are you more about sex, or are you more about emotions, right? There's a slot for everyone, or you can just make yourself up. As long as you got somebody, as long as you get somebody to agree with what you're proposing, what you're negotiating, you would agree to what you guys want to do. You could do that, but there are some pre-made. I'm sorry. There's already some that are pretty established that we definitely know about, and that's what we're talking about. So before we started talking about swinging, and we're going to continue to talk about swinging as we move. We're going to move further to the right, according to this diagram that we're looking at right now. We're going to end up with polyamory. So next week is going to be relationship anarchy. I'm just going to do it to get out the way. Friends with benefits. I don't really talk about open relationships or friends with benefits or anything like that, because those are more type of open relationships. Those are more type of just everyday run of the mill relationships, right? People, I don't really know how to do a friends with benefit type relationship because I will catch feelings. If I don't catch feelings, I'm not going to have sex with you. So you have to really get in where you fit in at, and only do what you want to do. All right. So I'm gonna do the check in now. So I did get some bad news on yesterday. Yesterday I had a job offer if they was going well. Then I got an email from HR. The contract has been changed. As what happens, this happens quite often when you're trying to work with the government. Everything was going fine as far as I know. Then all of a sudden, I guess there's a lot of stuff going on with the government right now. So I guess the government decided that they didn't need as many people on the job that they want to bring on. So I'm cut. I'm cut. So I fell away for a minute, but I'm like, what is it going to change? What am I doing right now? I'm gonna be doing the same thing that I was doing before, and I know that once I'm ready for a new position will show up. So I'm not upset about it. I just expected it. I knew this shoot. I knew the moment that the election went the way that it did. That these things were going to happen. Because last year, the only difference from last year to this year is the president. Last year, 5 offers in like that. And then now, everything's kind of sketch. So just have to deal with it, and just go with it day by day. Stay focused on what I'm doing right now, and don't worry about it. And that's gonna bring me to our food for thought. So I'm doing a new segment, and we're doing food for thought to work on my spirituality and maybe share some of my some spirituality with you, to see if this resonates with you. So this is going to be Shi Hing Yi. I'll have the links to his YouTube and information about this video. It's a really short video, in the show notes. So here we go.
The human mind is not made to stay at one place at one time. The commitment knows it. That's why we give it. This is why we say, okay, I commit to it. Because I know that hard times will come, that I will find excuses why not to make it, that I will have days I'm not in the mood to practice it. I know these times are going to come, but this is why you do the commitment.
And I want to say that actually is like where I am mostly. Like when I started doing this podcast again, I committed to doing it, whether I was tired or not, and I committed to doing 2 times a week. There's been many times that I've just been like, I'm tired. I really don't feel like doing this right now. But I'm just sticking with it. And I think that for me, right now it's a good practice. I'm committed to it. It gives me that window into my life that I need to look at. Into looking into yourself and seeing where you are. Because there's a lot of things. A lot of things are happening. I think I have a lot of plans right now. I can say for the first time in a long time, I have a plan for my life. Like I'm not just out here just hoping things work out. And I'm committed to it though. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to live in attention. I'm not trying to reach out to anyone else for anything like comfort or support. I'm supporting myself. And I'm going to get myself to where I need to be because I don't want to be distracted, right? Because that as I go into the next part of the show, which is going to be actually talking about having a conversation, I'm going to go ahead and make this real disclaimer again. Know your truth, walk in your truth, and know when something is pulling you from your truth. That's the friction. The friction for me is anxiety, right? I feel comfortable. And I feel comfortable today living my life. And the reason I say that is because what I'm talking about, ethical non-monogamy and swinging, is not for everyone, right? So because especially right now, I'm still talking about swinging. So swinging is consensual sex, right? It's 2 people or however many people decide to have NSA sex. Means no strings attached, open sex. They enjoy it. They enjoy it. They get something from it. And at one time I did too. So as I talk about this, if it's too much for you, if you're my family or friends or something like that, because my family's all Christians, just don't look at this, right? I'm not holding back. I'm gonna talk about the truth, and I'm gonna show videos from other people to back up what I'm saying. So basically, now's the time to cut it off. We're going into just like at a swingers party. Right now, we're getting ready to go into the party. Here are the rules. If you're not for this, leave. Leave, because I'm not holding back. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on to the pros and cons of swinging, or the swinging lifestyle, rather. I guess they call it swinging lifestyle because you could swing, like go to a sex party every now and then, go to a club every now and then, go see strippers every now and then, and not be a swinger, right? You could be open to, a lot of people right now are looking for threesomes, foursomes, moresomes. That's something that people are doing. So you could do that, right? Yeah, you can do that without getting too involved into like the lifestyle. And the lifestyle is basically you're getting into an area where there are real swingers, right? Real swingers swing. That's what they do. They go on the cruises. They go on the clubs. They go to the resorts, like in Cancun. Check over the resort. It's swingers there the whole weekend. Every room, everybody's naked. That's hedonism in Jamaica. The rude, is it the nude side or the what's one? The nude side or the rude side? I can't think of the word. I forget the word now. Prude side, right? You wear clothes on one side, the other side you have to stay naked all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's actually out here, and that's not talked about because of the stigma. That's one of the cons. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna play another video about we're gonna go to the cons of swinging, because I want to do this so just to show that what I'm talking about isn't like just me talking, right? Because there's a lot of people who do this. There's clubs all over the country. There's clubs. There's events. There's groups. There's like a group, 5-6 couples. They hang out together, and then they also have sex together. That's what they do. And it's going on right here, right in your neighborhood, I'm sure. So hold on. I'm going to play this video of some people. I think I had them on last week talking about, we're going to start with the cons of swinging. So just listen up, and then I'm going to come back and add my two cents into it. Uh-oh. What did I just do? I think I pressed the wrong button. Okay. Yeah, it's just me. I need I'll say it again. I could use a producer if you want to learn how to do this, or a engineer. Okay.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Foreplay channel. I'm Bella.
I'm Jace. Before we get into today's video, make sure to leave this video a like. It really helps us out. Subscribe so you never miss when we post a video. And if you guys have any questions about this video, or if there's any videos you want to see from us in the future, make sure to leave a comment down below so we can get to those.
I just want to add right quick that their information will be in the show notes, so you can find them. They have a great channel. If you want to know about swinging, they have a very, very good channel with some good information.
Today's video is all about the downsides of swinging. So we do know we talk a lot about the positives, which we do think that overall the positives do outweigh the negatives, but it's not always rainbows and butterflies. So we did want to go into some of the downsides of the swinging lifestyle.
So the biggest thing that you're going to run into is that it is not accepted in society normally. At this time, it is still shunned by society. We haven't got to that point where everyone is just okay with people being out and being non-monogamous ethically. But that's one of those things that, you know, making these videos and making podcasts, and we're trying to do everything we can to normalize it as much as we can and break this stigma so that people can see that, hey, we're just normal people too. But at this time, it's still definitely, it's shunned in society. We have friends who have lost custody of their children. We know people who have lost jobs, all because they say they're non-monogamous, which makes no sense whatsoever to us at all. That is one of the biggest things that you do have to take in consideration when you're being out about being a swinger anyway. I mean, if you don't tell anyone, there is so much discretion in the lifestyle. So if you don't want it to be well known, it's pretty easy to keep it kind of on the down low, but you're gonna be out about it. That is one thing that you're gonna face, is some criticism from the outside world.
In general, because this is still such a taboo type of alternative lifestyle, it's not seen as normal in general, you are going to come across a lot of mean people, especially if you're out. Again, if you keep it private, then you know what people don't know, they're not gonna say anything, but you do have to have really thick skin if you do want to be your true selves and be out. You do have to realize there's a possibility that your family or your close friends might not accept you for this. And to us, we think that it's more of a, if you're not gonna accept us for who we are, for doing something that makes us happy, that doesn't hurt anybody, that only brings us stronger, and it's ethical, it's ethically non-monogamous, then for us, we just wanna surround ourselves with people who are going to love us for who we are. So we don't necessarily think that's always a bad thing, but do know that that is a possibility too. Now, if you're gonna put yourselves out online like we do, you really have to have thick skin, because we get hate comments all the time. There's always going to be people shutting you down, shutting down your relationship, saying you guys don't love each other, really just seeing it as lesser than monogamy, and it just isn't like that, but do know it is a possibility.
The next thing we're gonna talk about, we view as a downside, but also an upside. The arguments and conversations that you're gonna have. Now, we're not saying that every person that goes on lifestyle is gonna have a ton of arguments or fights between them and their partner, but you do realize whenever you're getting into this, you're going to have new conversations. You're gonna open up new doors. When you're bringing the idea of other people into your relationship, there's so much trust and communication that has to go into that. And especially at the beginning when you're working on your communication skills, it's very easy to mess up. Our first few years in the lifestyle, we had so many little arguments and tiffs and things like that because we weren't communicating well enough and we weren't always explaining how we felt well enough. And it's not like we weren't trying, but it's just hard sometimes. And so that's one thing that it is a downside, because you probably are gonna have those little fights and arguments and working through things. But that's the beauty, because once you work through those things, you have all this new love and appreciation and communication skills and trust, and it's all of these things that make your relationship so much stronger. But in those beginning stages, it definitely can be a little hard at times whenever you are having those conversations that are tougher. They are tough conversations, and no one is saying that they're not. So make sure just to keep working through them, try to stay level-headed in those conversations, work together. You'll work through all those issues and you come out on the other side so much stronger.
Jealousy is also an emotion that's going to come up. It is, again, something that you can work past, something you can work through, but it is a normal emotion that will come up a lot in the life.
Caveat, everybody doesn't have, oh my goodness, I hit the video. Everybody doesn't get jealous, so just want to put that out there. I think I messed up the video too.
Hello everyone, welcome back.
Sorry.
It's also an emotion that's going to come up. It is, again, something that you can work past, something you can work through, but it is a normal emotion that will come up a lot in the lifestyle.
And we do have a whole entire video on how to deal with jealousy. So after you finish watching this video, if you want to learn a little bit how to deal with jealousy, we'll have that video linked down below.
Another less talked about downside is the price. So being in the lifestyle, it is not cheap. It is pretty expensive, honestly, to get into clubs and to go to these specialty chartered cruises or resorts. You're paying a premium price to do something because it's not normalized yet. To go to clubs, you're going to need to pay a membership price, and then on top of that, a door fee, and then you're paying extra because these companies are buying out every single room on a cruise ship, and so I mean they have to make money from that too. And so just know that it isn't cheap, and buying new outfits if you want to dress on theme, or if you want to get something new, or taking care of your body and doing all of those kinds of things, it definitely is a pricey lifestyle.
Yeah, and if you have children and you need babysitters, there's so many little different things to add up. But to us, all of the costs outweigh it, and we understand why it costs more, because it is providing an experience that you can't get just by going to a normal place. It's catered for you. And so there's a lot of things like that that really make all of those prices worth it, in our opinion. Being single in the lifestyle is also an issue that can come up sometimes for people. Now, if you want to know all about how to really get introduced to a group and get really involved in lifestyle as a single male or a single female, we have videos about both of those listed down below. But that is something that is also a little bit difficult, because there is stigma, especially with single males in the lifestyle, that could make it a little bit more difficult for you at the beginning when you're getting involved in a group.
And not all couples are good couples, and so some couples might try to take advantage of someone who is single in the lifestyle, so be careful with that too.
One thing we're going to touch about really quick, because I know if we don't say it, people are going to say, how do you not say this? That's the discussion of STIs. If you are sexually active, you have multiple partners, you have a higher chance of getting STIs. With that being said, people in the lifestyle, in the general rule, take very good care of themselves. Protection is very, very prevalent in the lifestyle. And so for us, we always use protection. We always practice safe sex. So with STIs, no matter if you're single and you're just out there flirting in the vanilla world, or you're in the lifestyle with a partner, you always are gonna have that risk of having more partners. But for us, we really don't think that it is any more likely to get an STI being a swinger than you would be just going out and having random hookup type culture that you would at a normal bar or club.
In general, people in the lifestyle or people in open relationships do take better care of their sexual health, just because there's a better communication. People are more open, people are more trusting with their own partners and with other people. And so with that, they put their sexual health at a priority. We think one of the biggest downsides, and this is something that we truly hope and truly needs to get better, and the lifestyle needs to do better with, is the stigma of bisexual men. For some reason, there is shame put upon bisexual men in the lifestyle from not only other men, but also from women in the lifestyle. And it's so frustrating, especially because they seem to glorify bisexual women. But when it comes to bisexual men, they don't think it's okay. And that is completely wrong. It doesn't make any sense.
I really don't understand, as a group of open-minded people who are sexually open-minded as well, how anyone in the lifestyle could shun anybody based off their sexuality or choices like that. It really makes no sense to us. We've had friends who told us that the male was bi, and he says, but you know, normally I always say that I'm straight first until I get really comfortable with someone, and then I'll tell somebody. And to us, the fact that, so we're in this community that's supposed to be open-minded, that people are still scared to say that they're bi if they're male, but like Bella said, it's almost expected in a sense if you're a female to be bi. It just makes no sense to us, and it's one of the things that we think needs to change the most, is that we need to have it so everyone's sexual preferences are respected and are viewed as equal, and we just really don't understand how this community has not gotten there yet.
And with that expectation of women being bi in the lifestyle, that's an issue in itself. So just like bisexual men shouldn't be shunned for being bisexual, women shouldn't be expected to be bisexual, and that's vice versa too. And so definitely needs to change, and it's something that we really are sad about the lifestyle that we haven't gotten to that point yet.
So that is all the negatives that we could really come up with. We try to think for a while and cover everything, but overall the lifestyle is so great. We just had such amazing experiences. We met so many amazing friends, and we could not be more thankful to be a part of this lifestyle and also to be able to educate and help other people learn about this lifestyle.
What it's done for us as a couple, for our relationship, has been incredible, and I feel like all of the negative parts that come with it can't even compare to how much joy and how much positivity and how much we've been able to grow.
So that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. So if you guys have any comments or questions about this video, if there's maybe something that's a negative that we didn't cover, make sure to drop that down in the comments so that other people can learn and we can have a conversation down there. Make sure to like this video, subscribe so you never miss when we post a video, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye!
Hey, thanks, Jella. I'm sorry. Thanks, Bella and Jace. So I want to start off with that one thing she said at the end about the bi males. That's a serious thing, right? There's a lot of homophobia, especially in our community. I was thinking about doing a show on homophobia, because I can honestly say that. I can honestly say, like, in the out in the open, like going to clubs, parties, stuff like that, there was never any incidents of, you know, confusion or anybody doing anything they weren't supposed to be doing. No conversations on male bisexuality. Women are expected to be bi. That's the thing. Yeah, women are. I don't know if they expected to be bi, but most of the women are bi, or just like pillow princesses, all that kind of thing. But men, no. No. But in the white community, they have a lot of bi males, right? And I'm not homophobic at all, right? So on the online community, in the groups, let's say Black and Poly Dating, Black and Poly, there are bisexual males, and they are openly bisexual. And if you come at them wrong, the whole community will just attack you. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't. Because we're trying to be open-minded and inviting for people. And if we have the standard of, or the acceptance of bisexual females or bisexual women, you should also accept bisexual males. I'm not bisexual, so it doesn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not worried about somebody looking at me, and I don't think it rubs off on you. I don't think it rubs off on you at all. I don't think it affects you at all if you're in the same room with a bisexual male or you're with a bisexual male's partner. So. Yeah, I definitely wanted to have I was thinking about doing an episode just talking about homophobia in our community, because it's over the top, right? It's over the top. I don't know why people are so adamant about it or just upset about any type of bisexual male. Like, I had a whole recording. Rick was a friend from Facebook. He passed. But I had my interview with him talking about being he was gay, being a gay male in the polyamorous black and polyamorous community, but he was a friend of everybody. Nobody bothered him, and if you did, we were going to attack you. So that's like, so yeah, that, I don't know if that's a down. Well, I guess the acceptance, I guess what they're saying is the acceptance of a bisexual male. And that's in the. I'm gonna say this. That's probably more so in the white community, ethically non-monogamous community. Because, not saying it's not all one community. There are people who have interracial type type situations. But I'm saying though, in the parties and stuff I've seen, I've never come across openly a person living openly bisexual or gay. A man, not at all, not at all. But I have had some friends of mine, women, who switched over. Just said they stopped dating black men because of incidents they had. They just went out with they partnered with white men, and the white men were always I'm sorry, not always. The few times that the white men they got with the white men, they were bisexual, and they were okay with it. So I'm okay with it too. Don't bother me none. Do what you gotta do for yourself. So that actually that was a good summary. Or that was a good presentation of the cons. Like I said, they hit on the STIs, the risk of STIs. I think the risk of STIs is less myself because I've because everybody's talking about testing, getting tested, and barriers. It's talked about a lot, and if you don't do it correctly, you will get called out and you can get put out the community because that's basically. Stealthing. Yeah, taking off your condom when you're having sex with someone. That's called stealthing. That's a crime, right? That's rape. So don't do that. Because you if you agree to have sex and you're covered wearing a barrier, then you shouldn't remove it until after you're out of that person. That person's believing you. The person's trusting you with their health, reproductive health in the women's case, or just their life, your life. So it's taken care of more. And I'm gonna say this, right? Because I've been a cheater. They ain't worried about condoms, man. They ain't worried about condoms because it was like, got this chance, got this free moment, let's get on. You know what I'm saying? They think about it. But everything pretty much in the in our community, everything in the ethically monogamous community pretty much planned out. Condoms everywhere. I mean, buckets. I'm not bucket, but jars just full of condoms everywhere. So you never really without. Never really without it, and you always pretty much can get a condom, and it's always covered. So the risk of STI, like I said, there's always good risk of STIs or STDs, but this community does take it seriously. But like I said, if you have more than one partner, it's a chance. It could happen. It only takes one time to slip up, and you could be dead. So yeah. They touch on the money because it's expensive. So I'm explaining the club. I'm gonna show a video from a club owner. I just found it just tonight. It came up just in time. So it's gonna touch on what it looks like inside of a swinger club, and it's gonna touch on some of the dynamics that happen in a swinger club. I'm not gonna play the whole video because it's a YouTube video, but I'm gonna put the link to it. But they talk about something that can happen. Relationship strain, like mental health challenges, like you're bringing in more people into your life, right? Like I said, like the moment we opened up and started being ethically non-monogamous, we was busy. We had friends. Everybody want to hang out. Just get to know each other. It wasn't always about sex. I'm always emphasize that it isn't always all about sex, or it's very seldom about sex. A lot of times it's the relationships. You do have some horny bastards though. Some people, it is about the sex, period. But I need both or nothing. So you will have to. So having more people in your life, especially at this level, like you're sharing everything with these people, will cause relationship strain. Especially if you're new, you don't know about priorities. You don't understand what NRE is, new relationship energy. You don't understand. Not having a relationship, not being on a relationship escalator, meaning that you don't understand how you just can be with people without wanting more. Does that make sense? Right, because the way we're taught in the monogamous, we were brought up monogamously, is that you meet somebody, fall in love, date, court, get married, have kids, buy a house, and die. That's it. That's the relationship escalator. So every relationship you have, in ethically non-monogamy, every relationship is not going to be the same because you can only get married one time in this country. I don't know. In the Western world, there's no plural marriages. There's no polygamy. There's no polyandry. It's not legal. People say like they're trying to have 2 hours or whatever, sister wives, but it's illegal. It's not true. The first person you marry is going to have all the rights. The next person is going to have none. You have to dissolve the marriage and then write up power of attorneys and things like that. If you want to be equal, and I say, I'm gonna tell this to any young lady that's thinking about joining a couple. If they're not talking about getting a divorce and then bringing you in as equal, don't do it. It's too much. So let me so let's see. We touched on time and financial. It costs money. About the clubs. Okay, so the clubs you have to join, right? The clubs are members only because they sell alcohol. But they don't even sell alcohol. I'm sorry. What you do is you join a club, and men can't join a swingers club. Well, most of them. I don't know all of them, but most of them are like this. Men can't join the club. Only the women can join the club, and then the women can bring in their partner, right? So my partner at the time joined the club. I paid for it, of course, and then we're allowed to get in the club, and I can't just show up on a random night and just walk into the club. Single men can't. They have like up here at Taboo. I think they have like one night when the single men can come in. It's like a mixer night. That's the night we went in on. It's like a mixer night, kind of like everybody's just there meeting each other. That's when all the groups show up. I was talking about this last time. All the groups show up and talk. Share food, get to know them, and then they let you know about what they do, what their vibe is. So I think you have more single men on that night, and it's not a play night. Like I said before, it's upstairs is vanilla, regular. Everything's like a regular club. Right, they don't sell liquor. They don't sell liquor because it's against the law. It's against the law to sell liquor where people are having sex. No, but you could bring in. So what you do is you bring in your bottle. They put your name on it, and then when you come to the bar, you just say, "Hit me up with that with my martini, please." with my Cavassier, not Cavassier. What I use, Ketel One. With my Ketel One. They fix your drink right there. Give them a tip. So so you pay for the membership, you pay to get in, and only women can have the membership. Only women can have the memberships because being a male is the most unwanted thing in swinging. Being a single male, right? Unless there's some single males. You could be a star. You actually, if you're a single male and you work out a lot, you know what I'm saying, you got it going on. You're very let's say outgoing and got the gift of gab. You could be invited to a lot of events. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna invite you because they invite single females, and sometimes, like I said before, we would go to curated events. You guys would have curated events. They invite certain people to come in and just mix it up. So they would invite single male, single female, just to come in. Even to the club, you get, a lot of people aren't married either, right? So you have to have, if you're a male, you will get with a woman. And then that would be your swinging partner. You know what I'm saying? Y'all would go to the clubs and the parties together so you can get in. That happens a lot too. We've been with those people too. So the thing about it though is this thing. You have to be ready, and that is a downside. A lot of times people aren't ready. That first time, I think even the first time that we got involved into it, the first time was rough because we didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know where our boundaries were. Remember I said we had those rules set up, the agreement. But as soon as we got started, that was gone. That room was gone. We were comfortable. We trusted each other. So the STIs, the money is expensive, and you have to dress a certain way. There's a dress code. They try to keep it as classy as possible. Classy as possible. And that's good though, right? You don't want it to go too far. You know what I'm saying? You don't want people youngins and coming in there and acting up. You just want it to be a classy situation. That's what it always is. And then there's another thing, like I was saying before. Oh yeah, marriage, feelings. The downside, the con is that swingers like to act like they don't catch feelings. Like I said before. And it gets complicated because when they do catch feelings, they have to leave. They have to step back. That happened to us. And I was going to talk about our one bad situation. It wasn't one. Yeah, well, we had a couple bad situations, but one really crazy night where we actually disobeyed our rule. I know we don't have sex on the first night rule. We disobeyed that rule. We never had a good time, and we were going to meet a couple down in Manassas just to hang out, have dinner. They already said they had a room over, not in Manassas. What I'm talking about? They were in Waldorf. They were in Waldorf. We lived in Silver Spring. So we went. I lived in Waldorf too. So I knew where we were. I knew where it was. So they had a room. They were already down there, and we didn't know everything that was going on. So we went back to the room, hanging out, drinking, smoking, chilling, and then another couple showed up, which was they said okay. When they say may have a couple other couples show up, this couple show up, and when I get drinking, I'm very I'm just talking shit. I'm having a good time. So I'm talking my thing, and the other woman, she's really vibing. So she's ready. And I'm not necessarily ready because they're a little bit older than we were. And we didn't know them at all because they just showed up at the room. We had already ate dinner with the other couple, and then another couple came. So me and the guy went downstairs for something. We went downstairs to get something out of his car. And then we were coming out. The other couple was leaving, looking all disgusted. They told him to leave in the middle of the thing. I don't know what was going on, why they told him to leave or anything like that, but it just didn't feel right. So it's funny. But then the other couple, then our second couple came in. When I say our second couple, I told you about the first couple, Lil and Leo. This couple was D&D. They were very popular on the site. So it was very popular on the site, and this was the first time that we had I think we had traded messages back and forth, but this is the first time we actually seen each other. And when they seen us, they said, "Oh, that's y'all, the nefarious, the notorious cute couple." That's what we called it. That was our name, a cute couple, on the website, the Black Swingers Club. And I guess we were notorious because I went off on one night. I went off on something. Remember, I think I said you've been. I went off on the couple that stood us up. Right? They were arranging to come to DC from Philly, and they had made all these dates. And we had the hard rule back then, and we were gonna stick to that rule. But they got involved in the other thing, and then just ghosted us. Right? So I was mad, and they were on there, and it was just we were talking to the other people. It was a big old thing on the site. But yeah, so we knew them, so we hooked up with them, and we had a great night. And we left, came back, and that's the one couple that that my partner was ready to do polyamory with, date, like a quad. So there is something, we go into polyamory, you'll learn about this more. There are configurations where couples do get in a relationship with other couples, right? I haven't seen one actually just form being married or anything like that, but there are couples who have a relationship with couples, right? And it's more than just sex. It's a whole thing. So yeah, we were thinking about doing that with them because we enjoyed them. We enjoyed them a lot. Not just on the like I said, not just on the sex tip, just on the everything tip. They were very cool. Yeah, it didn't work out. But I'm gonna tell you what happened though. What happened is the couple that had the room, the first couple we had dinner with, that had the room, they weren't together, and it's something that she had left her husband, and she wouldn't go home, and it was a mess, and they were involved in that, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to hear nothing about it. That's it. And that's the thing that happens a few times. People are in these situations, and they aren't real swingers. They're just out doing stuff. You know what I mean? They're not really being swingers, real swingers, or being in the lifestyle. They're just out having fun, doing different things. That was that situation. I think the other couple said that she had came and stayed with them some nights. She had issues, couldn't go back home. And I'm like, man, I don't even want to be in that. That's too much. That's too much. We just out here to have drinks and have some fun. We're not here to adopt a person. But like I said, that's what happens. A lot of times, people aren't really swingers. They're just, doing something, not really committed to the lifestyle. So that's relationship change. Now I'm gonna play this one other video about a swing club, and I'm gonna talk to you about it after I'm done with it. So this little video is gonna talk about how a swing club looks. This is a very short clip of a longer video on YouTube. If you want to see the whole thing, because they do a whole tour of the club, And they tell you how the club works and how I think this is one family that owns the club. Like you can own a club, and like you gotta get, I'm not sure what licenses are involved with that because it's a private club. They do get rated at times. So yeah, so I'm gonna play this one. Then I'm gonna talk about it.
I'm riding the husband while I'm watching him, and I'm like, I'm mad as I'm doing it.
Did you catch that? She had feelings.
It's like a family business.
Absolutely. And some people are just thrilled by it, and some people are really taken aback by it. Every room has a different theme and a different look about it, and this right here is probably our most popular room because of the toys, if you can see. We've had people from all walks of life in here. I've had celebrities. I have autographs in my office.
What is over here?
This is our shadow box. If you are on rocky ground at home, you'll never survive this because the first time something intimate does happen, the relationship is toxic and you start throwing it at each other's face, and before you know it, the relationship is gone.
The door knocker where it says please do not disturb or please not, and you can either come on in or no thank you. It's no disrespect to the people, it's just the dynamic and their desire.
A man by himself is not allowed to go into the hallway without accompaniment of some sort. I think we're the only club that so many single women come here by themselves because they know we're not going to let anything happen to them. As far as safe, I promise you're safer here than any other place.
So yeah, I'll put the link to that video. It's a good video. Like I just want to give you a view of that because that club that's in Houston. That club pretty much looks like the one in I don't know if they have the same decorator or what. Looks the exact same way as the one in Baltimore, Catonsville. But Catonsville, I don't know, Catonsville in Baltimore. So yeah, so just what she was saying though is that like she was mad, like people have emotions, they're doing stuff they don't want to do. A lot of times, like one of the partners want to go out, other partner had a bad week, but you already made this date and you got to go, or your relationship is not secure, right? And you aren't ready to see what you're getting ready to see, or you're not ready for the feelings. You have to get ready for those feelings, man, because it's gonna come. Like I said, I never had an issue with jealousy, so there was never a problem with me as far as that goes. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think my partner had any type of jealousy either. I don't remember any jealousy, but could have been there. I don't know. So I guess the biggest thing about it is that your relationship needs to be secure. You definitely want to, learn safer sex practices and make sure they're talking about safer sex. The people you're with are talking about the same, safer sex practices too. Show your tests, get your tests, show them because they're going to ask you for them if they have a hang up. Some people really have a hang up. They definitely want to see your last test results. And this, yeah, okay. Even with the barriers, right? They don't want to see your last test. So, yep, the relationship strain. Make sure your relationship's safe because if it's not, it's going to be tested. You could break. Remember, I was just talking about the couple that we met at the other one, the one that we probably could have been in the car with. That couple actually, after that night, they left for a while. They had to leave because he caught feelings for my partner. And that was something they had to work out in their relationship because I guess it never happened before. But I think that we was just so cool with it. We were just like cool with it, having fun with it. We didn't have like hang-ups. It was like there's no hang-ups with us. Like, you know what I'm saying? There was no hang-ups. Pretty much like the people have rules like no kissing, no touching, none of that. We had no rules. Have a good time. Have a good time. I remember one time, remember I was talking about the Katie event. One time, the guys from my partner, he's like, he was asking her, do she want to go to another room? And I don't know if she wanted to or not, but she told him he had to ask me. I'm like, I don't do what you want to do. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I know you. She probably didn't want to go. She probably just did it, put it on me, because she didn't ask me. She told me afterwards, after the fact. Yeah. So be ready. So things will happen, and sometimes, like I said, sometimes you get with couples, and all of a sudden they'll disappear. Most of the time when that happens, they're having problems in their marriage. A lot of times they fix it, they come back. A lot of times you never see it again. The single men, like I say, single men. That's everybody's worried about single men all the time. all the time. Clubs, parties, everything, because there could be too many. Because single men will just show up thinking they're going to get something, want something, but the single women, there are a lot of single women. They're looking for, I don't know what they're looking for, to be honest with you. They're called unicorns, sexy, bi, babe. That's a term that was coined in swinging, but it actually has been carried over into polyamory. So many people are looking for, you're a man, you're married, you're in a relationship. Your wife says she's bisexual, because a man can't be bisexual, because that, they ain't having that. But then they want to find a third, somebody who can love them both and have sex with them both. That's sought out in polyamory, but it actually started in swinging, because it was just about sex. It wasn't about relationships. Now the people in polyamory, this happens like every daggone week. Somebody new come into the group and they're looking for their third. I hate that. I hate it. Like, it doesn't even make any sense to me. I'm like, go buy a dog. Because the person is not going to love both of you at the same time. But then there's some single women that come in. They're probably on your young side, who looking at these relationships are pretty established and they think they're pretty okay and they want to try to join, and it's always a mess. The woman, a lot of times the wives are just in it for the man. They don't really want to be. They don't really want you in their house. They don't want you, taking up their man's time. You don't have enough money. There's a lot of stuff. They don't want you dating anybody else. A lot of that stuff just goes on, and like every time we see it or I see it in the groups or anything like that, I always talk against it. Just don't do it. If it happens organically, you know what I'm saying? Like let's say you two are out hanging out and you meet somebody and this person really likes you and want to hang out. Y'all hang out and y'all hit it off. Then it starts to make sense. You know what I'm saying? You weren't looking for this. You weren't looking for a person to fill a role. This just happened, right? That rarely happens. What happens is they're hunting. They're called unicorn hunters, and they're hunting and they're trying to bag a hoe. I mean, not try to bag a hoe. Try to get a girl. Try to get a girl to be their third, to wash the dishes and take care of the kids. That's what they do. So, and it was funny though to me. I'm not gonna do that. It's not a humble brag, but yeah, we never had no problem with that though. I think most people are attracted to my partner than me. So I don't know, maybe together. Oh, it's another things you do have to keep yourself in shape. Like the clothes, you have to keep the clothes. You gotta be in shape. Gym membership 3 times a week. Just what I'm saying, to keep yourself up. You know what I mean? Because you're out a lot, and you're out late at night. It's always late at night. Y'all can hang out with swingers and nothing gonna stop before 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Every single time. And then you still gotta go home. Yeah, so those are the cons. I'm gonna do it real quick. We're gonna look at another video. We're gonna look at the pros, and I want to show that other people are in this lifestyle too. And I'm not making this up. So that's why I show videos of other people. So we're gonna go into pros. There are some good pros. The pros, benefits from swinging, living in a lifestyle. So I think it's here. Let's go. Who's this couple? And you notice what the couples are white because it's really hard to find black.
Hey everybody, this is John and Jackie of OpenLove101.com, and today we're going to talk to you about some of the benefits of swinging as they relate to other people. And one of those, for instance, would be the fact that you're able to make friends in the swinging lifestyle.
So it relates to us too. Yeah, I think it's really important sometimes to make sure that we talk about some of the great benefits of swinging. And we've decided to take a few segments to really kind of talk about that. And like John said, one of the great benefits of swinging, and this is going to be a benefit that's going to be across the board. This could be a great benefit in a monogamous traditional relationship as well. But one of the things that I have found in being introduced to the swinging lifestyle is the friendships that I have made through the swinging. And I don't know if it's in relation to the swinging, but it seems like those friendships are much deeper, much stronger. They're more intimate because maybe I know a little bit more about these people, because the level in which we communicate is at a different, honest level.
It is, and just like that's a positive attribute to being a swinger in our relationship as well. It increases all those things, exponentially. The communication between each other, the honesty, the trust. And I think that's a great point, Jackie. With our friends we've made, we have that same type of communication going on. It's much deeper.
Right.
And the other thing is you're around people of like mind.
Exactly. And that's one of the other benefits, John, is, if I have an issue, I can come to you and talk to you about it, and that's great. But I also have this plethora of other people that I can go to with the exact same issue and say, I'm having this, and what worked for you, and they can do the same with us, and really be an information bank to each other to deepen their relationships, our relationships, and we can kind of feed off of experiences that other people have had.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And then, you build a trust with these couples that we hang out with, or individuals too, for that matter. And because of the trust level, we're able to explore fantasies we might not want to explore with people that we don't have that same level of trust with.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, and and that's the other thing, is the boundaries are different when you're dealing with couples involved in the swinging lifestyle. Those boundaries go much deeper than they would, at least for me, when I had more traditional friendships with couples who were in monogamous relationships. And I've said this before too, not that there's anything wrong with that. I was involved in traditional monogamous relationships for a greater part of my adult life, and I still feel as though a portion of me is still doing that because of you and I and our relationship. It's just that we have the opportunity to share ourselves with other people. But, being able to communicate at that level and to talk about issues with our friends, not only do we learn things, but the level of concern that I have for my friends too is deeper.
And what I can relate that to is with myself being sober for a long time in AA, I've built really, really strong friendships with people in AA, and we share and discuss things that are really personal with each other. And in our swinging relationship, friends, it's really the same thing. We talk about, someone will share with us a problem they're going through as a couple, and we're able to talk about that. And it doesn't seem like that happens very much in couples that are in more monogamous relationships.
Right.
Not in the same level that we have with our friends today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, it's a really, it's one of those things in the swinging relationship that we really like to talk about being such a vital part of this community, is the level of communication, not even just between the couples, but between everyone within the lifestyle, that you can really go to and get some honest communication with us.
Yeah, that's great. If you haven't already done so, please sign up to OpenLove101.com, and we'll send you a newsletter once a week letting you know what our video or our blog of the week is and any kind of contest we might be having soon. So in the meantime, have a great time and see ya.
I think they're a great couple. That was very good. So yeah, the communication, like I said, before we, the moment we, started getting into the ethically non-monogamous world, like we were fine before that. Family, hanging out, going to New York, things like that. But as soon as we got involved in that, we just had people to hang out with and talk to all the time. And like I said, it wasn't always about sex. It was other things too. Just hanging out, with the fellas in the groups, or hanging out with another couple, or being able to talk to someone, like I say, about this stuff. And this is not all on Facebook. This is just in regular life too. I think it's something that it definitely enhanced our communication, and then it also it opened up a group, opened up a possibility to have other deeper conversations with people who of like mind, like they were saying. It definitely brought us closer together. It definitely did. And I noticed how the guy talked about he was sober in AA. I can't do NA. Maybe I should. I don't know. Would that be good? Like a a swinging sobriety group, but they don't. I wonder, does he drink still? That's interesting. Huh. I wonder. Yeah, I don't know. So, like I said, yeah, it does. And I wish I was able to tap into some of that. Like when I was still married, I probably would have still been married at, then. But I don't know. Maybe this is where I need to be. I think for me, I'm in a much better place than I was last year. Let me say it like that. Maybe not financially. Like I never had to worry about money, but still, it's like the money wasn't going to the right places, right? It wasn't going to the right places. So I'm gonna trust. Like I said, university sitting me down for a reason. Let me just keep doing what I'm doing. Be committed to this, and then don't worry about the outcome. Just keep doing what I'm supposed to do every day. I have an interview tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Yeah. So that's the benefit. I think the most benefit of this situation of swinging is that you do make some real connections. Like you have some bumpy roads because every couple you're not going to want to be with. Finding compatible people is a problem. You know what I'm saying? Is a problem because you can see just in these two videos they were white, right? Like I say, the big websites are like one's called Black Swingers Club, and then the other one's called Lifestyle Lounge, and those are the black one is all blacks, but the big one, Lifestyle Lounge, is a huge big group that's connected to all at the clubs, everything. That's mostly white. So yeah, and so I think even for our group, you really have to still be careful because people are still, they're doing scamming. I mean, they're doing all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be careful and be wise and take your time. That's the worst thing. Be patient. Take your time. It's not about quantity. It's about quality because you don't want a bunch of bad experiences because that's gonna make one of you two want to get out of this situation because you keep having bad experiences because you don't take your time, right? That was me. Until I started to relax, and I'm not even worried about it anymore. But I just found out the swinging wasn't for me. So yeah, it's like I said, for me, I think the biggest pro, or biggest benefit from this is better communication. In which, if you take the time to actually communicate, which you probably will have to do, because if you don't, you're probably gonna break up because it's a lot of things come up. The more people you add to relationship, a lot of things come up. And not being able to communicate with each other, because that's the relationship, the primary relationship, and that's what this should all be for. It should be for you two, your relationship, to strengthen your relationship, add a little spice to your relationship, add friends to your relationship. All those are possibilities if you take your time and choose quality and not quantity, right? Real swingers want quantity, not quality. Take your time. I definitely made a lot of mistakes, and I might coming up. I think I want to do something else. I forgot. I'm not sure. I think I've been out here a long time. I'm not sure what I want to do next. I can't think. I think if I remember it, I'll bring it up either on Friday or I won't bring it up at all. So yeah, the next on Friday we're gonna talk about. We're going to talk about one of the most difficult times or a difficult concept that I tried to implement in my life and was really the reason for a lot of bullshit that went on in my life. Relationship anarchy. Relationship anarchy is under ethical non-monogamy, but or kind of related to polyamory, but it's not, right? It's the worst. It's not the worst. It's an interesting concept. So I'm gonna talk about it more. I could pinpoint when I had the most issues in my life with other people because I was doing relationship anarchy, meaning that every relationship that you have is equal, right? There's no relationship escalator, meaning that a relationship you have with somebody that you're romantically involved with gets the same weight or the same priority as a friendship or a tertiary relationship, or like a spring, just a vacation. They're all the same. You don't rate one above the other. So I'll talk about it some more. But that was. But you know what? When you do that, don't drop your standards, or don't drop. You know what I'm saying? Compatibility is important. That is definitely important. I definitely learned that. So, yep, we'll do relationship anarchy next week. and then I think we'll do that, and then I think we'll go to polyamory. Polyamory is gonna take a while to really talk about, because there's so many different things. Like I was just talking about quads. That's 2 couples in a relationship. That's called a quad. But there's a lot to talk about with the polyamory. But that's only because that's what I identify as. But it also covers a lot. I don't understand relationship anarchy. The only reason I want to talk about it is because I need people to understand. Don't just do that. Don't just do it. You know what I mean? Like really understand what it is. I'm not sure. It's not even a very old concept, but it's talked about. So we'll talk about it some more. So if anything else, I have an interview tomorrow. So wish me luck. That's at 11:30. But it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I'm gonna trust the universe on that. So I'm gonna leave it there. We finished up the pros and cons of swinging. Like I said, I'm not just trying to persuade anyone to do anything. I'm just telling you about things that I've done in my life, what's helped me a lot in the situation that I'm in, and talking about it helps me a lot. So, like I said, if you want to like, share, subscribe, please do. I'll be back here on Friday, 9 o'clock, and we're going to move on to Relationship Anarchy. And I did want to talk about one weird situation, like the situation. One weird situation that comes up in the groups, right? Because I swear to God, it's just amazing to see. Like I was telling you about the people that scheme. They scheme a lot, right? They trying to, especially what we call unicorn hunters. They scheme a lot. They're trying to catch a unicorn, a sexy babe, but unicorn hunters are stigmatized, right? Oh, the stigma. That's a con. But you know what? I never had a problem with the stigma. Not at all. Don't care. Never had a problem. Never had a problem. I had people say it was wrong. How? Why? Because you don't believe in it? I don't know. I think church is wrong, but I still let you do it. Let you talk about it. I still support it. I support you going. But I don't. It's just not for me. I'm not gonna talk about it. So I think let people be who they need to be. So this is the stuff that we deal with. New people coming into the groups, and this is why new people come into the groups. This is on Facebook, anywhere on social media. New people come into the group, even just coming to a meetup, right? They'll disguise what they really want. You know what I'm saying? Like this one guy posted his picture, saying I'm partnered, but I date separately. He posts a picture of his partner, but then covers her face up with flowers, like to really emphasize the fact that he's dating he's dating solo, meaning that they're married, but they don't date together. They're not looking for a third. They're just, they're totally separate in their dating. Meaning that if something happens, they date two. That could happen. That'll happen organically, but they're not looking for a unicorn. They're not unicorn hunting. Then what's the first thing after his introduction? What does he do? Come into somebody's inbox and ask him to be a third. Oh wow! So yeah, they dragged him and he's out the group. Just like that. Just like that. So just be intentional. A lot of these groups have been around for a long time, and people could tell bullshit. I'm telling you, you can tell it. You can tell it really fast, because you've just seen it all the time, and you've seen people crash and burn, trying to do things that, trying to make up something that that isn't going to work. We've seen it happen a lot of times. 10 years. I've seen people come in. I've seen people come out. I've seen people be happy as hell. Then the next week they cussing each other out, throwing each other out the house, physical, getting physical, all that. So listen to the people that have been here for a while. Nobody's trying to stop you from having fun. Nobody's trying to stop you from having fun or finding happiness or love. Do that. But there's a lot of wolves amongst the sheep. All right. So I think I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you for listening. I appreciate the time. I'll be back next. I'll be back on Friday. We're talking about Relationship Anarchy, bringing this to an end. I think in a couple weeks, I may spend a little more time on polyamory because, that's my thing, and it meant a lot to me. But then I say Relationship Anarchy. When I talk about Relationship Anarchy and then go into polyamory, you see how things got crazy. So, yeah. I'll see y'all on Friday. Have a good one. Wish me good luck. All right. Peace. Peace. Hit the right button. I'm hitting the right button. This one?
All right, people, we out. Choose love every time, and things will work out. All right, peace. See you next week.
Love you.